Hi there, thanks for joining me today. Back in the garage. Got a nice little tool here that we want to have a look at today. Vdiag have sent me this through. Going to do a quick rundown on it, see what it can do, what it can't do. We're going to just put it up against this one. This is the Launch C Reader. This one is specifically designed for the BMWs. So it's got some nice tech in there. Can this compare? Price-wise, for something like this, a standalone unit's 150 quid. This has, I think it's got 32 functions, resets on it. This little fella, the Vdiag, this is the D200. It comes in at about £117 or $159. Comes in a nice little pouch. Inside here we've got a USB-C lead, a little adapter, and then the unit itself is velcroed very nicely into its little pouch. Let's have a quick look. There we go. So it's a nice little dongle there. On the top we've got a bit of connectivity. We can pop the flat back on it. Just a USB-C on there. This can be expanded, so you can use this along with the lead to open it up to some more functions using your laptop. That is extra though, there's an extra charge for that. So to get the extra, I think that gives you another 20 functions. But if you're just wanting this for basic diagnostics, I say basic, it's not basic. It's a bi-directional unit, so we should be able to do all the service resets on it, reset the oil, we should be able to check, look at engine management systems, gearbox, ABS, body modules. It's a powerful bit of kit. Both of these units do have the lifetime free updates. So the Vdiagtool has got lifetime free updates as well, which you've got to be looking at that because that can be a big expense if you haven't got the free lifetime updates. Let's download the app onto the phone because this is a phone-based unit. It'll Bluetooth to your phone, so it's not standalone. I do like my standalone units. If it's a good tool though, and it saves us a few quid, it might well be worth having a look at. So yeah, let's get it downloaded onto the phone, the app, and then we'll plug it into the car and see what it can do. So let's get the phone out. We're going to App Store. We'll click on the search box and we'll type in Vdiagtool and we'll find the app. There it is. Get. Give that a poke. Double click the side and in comes the app. That was nice and straightforward. Now we've just got to create our account. So I'm just going to pop my email address in there and the password. And then we'll create it. Pop a little password in. We'll get verification code through the email. Right, so I've downloaded the app for the little Vdiagtool there on the phone. This is the 1 Series. It's a 2011 118 diesel. It's got a few issues on it, so hopefully this will be able to find those codes. Let's plug it in and see what we can get. So on the 1 Series, the diagnostic port is just behind the little flap down here. We'll pop the cover off and then we can slide the tool in. Oh, it only just fits. But we're in green lights on. We've got a key, let's fire the car up. Okay, so we've got the phone. We'll go to the Vdiag app now. Vdiagtool. And we've just got to now find the Bluetooth unit. So we've got to add a device. Oh, what's it to do? The scan code on the side of the unit there. Oh, that's going to be a tricky one to read. Oh, straight away, nice. So let's go activate. Activation complete. Right then, here we go. Connect device, let's plug it in. Okay, connect. Bluetooth on. And we want to connect to... Now I'm looking, but I can't see it anywhere. This is where it sort of goes downhill a little bit. Bit disappointing. It's just not coming through on the Bluetooth. Where is it? It's not there. It's searching. It's coming up with everything else, but not the Vdiagtool. I've gone back into the app just to see if there's anything I'm missing, but there's definitely nothing there. Takes you back to the Bluetooth menu. So I've gone through it all, double checking again, and I've gone over it twice. I cannot see any mistakes anyway. It's just not finding it.
Oh, struggling out. It's not connecting.
Now 4 minutes have passed, and as if by magic, it just started to appear at the bottom.
Finally.
I was about ready to give up.
Bingo. God, that took ages to come up, but we got there eventually. Right, let's go back out of this then. Back to the Vdiag. Yes, we are now connected. We've got some updates to do, so let's just go into that. We only want to go for BMW, don't we, at the minute? So let's do BMW. Oh, let's shut the door. It's cold out there. Let's get the heater on. Okay, completed. Right, let's go back out of that then. Now we can head into the diagnosis function. So it's going to do BMW.
And it's struggling a little bit. It's not finding anything, just spinning wheels.
It wants me to unplug it and plug it in again. Surely we're not going to go through the reconnection every time. Okay, so we're back connected again. Diagnosis for BMW. You don't like that. Let's just turn it off, put the ignition on, try it again. Shouldn't make a difference. We always, well, I've done it many times where I've been able to connect with the engine running. Nope. Let's try OBD, see if it will go into that. Oh, I've got to put another update in. Okay, that's uploaded. Alright, so OBD. No, it won't like that either. Okay, let's do all the updates and see if that makes a difference. Updates, here we go. Let's download them all. We go for the whole lot. We could be here a while. They're coming in pretty quick actually, it's not too bad. So I was having some real problems trying to get it to communicate, and all I've done is just close the app down, reopened it, and bingo, it's now reading. Here we go. Yes, it's looking for the VIN number. It's got the VIN number. That took some sorting out. Automatic detection. Okay, so it's found the car. It's got all the information. And it's actually communicating, doing a full system scan. Here we go. Let's see what we've got. So we've got some warnings on the parking distance sensors. Engine's got 7 faults on it according to this. Everything else looks good. So let's just have a quick look at the engine. Let's read the codes. Got brake vacuum signal sensor, DDE glow plug activation on 1 and 2. Supply voltage to the DDE. So that's obviously going to be related. Maybe we've got a bad connection there, but we'll have a look and find out. Exhaust back pressure sensor before turbocharger signal, exhaust recirculation controller signal, oil pressure switch plausibility. So yeah, we've got a few faults in there, but it has found them all. Let's see if we can reset those. Let's do a reset and clear codes. And now let's read it again. And there we go, we're just left with the 3 faults that are permanently there. Let's go back out of that one and have a look at actuator tests. See if we got, all we got on there is electric fan. on the engine system. So let's go back out and have a look at driver's footwell module. What actuation test we got? Here we go. So power front window, we can tap on that. Open driver's side window. Go. Active. It hasn't worked. It's not done it. Open window, front passenger side. You can hear that going down. Open window, driver's side. Go. No, it's not having that. So the bi-directional controls are not working on the windows now. I don't normally have an issue. The launch one did it. So I don't know why this one's not. Okay, let's go back out of that. Let's have a quick look at something else. Vehicle lighting. Let's see if we can turn the indicators on. Okay, so some of the stuff's working. So if I come around the back and I go for reverse lights, just click on reversing lights. So we've got reverse lights coming on, so that's working. Brake light. Yeah, we've got brake lights. If we go around the front, let's just go for indicators. Oh, they are coming on. Yeah, we've got indicators, they're working. Okay, let's have a quick look at some live data on the engine ECU. So engine system, we can look that up. It actually takes you through, so it gives you the Google information there as to what the problem can be and how to overcome it. And there I am on that first video, fixing that on the 3 Series. Right, let's go back. Okay, so we can tap straight on that and we can go live data. Operational values, all ungrouped. Let's go for that one. Okay, here we go. So we've now got some figures, possibly. What's that telling you? We've got pre-supply pressure, fuel temperatures at -50. It's not giving me a common rail actual pressure. So some of the figures are coming through, others are not. Exhaust back pressure, see that's showing, and I know this is, let's just go into that and have a look. It's just showing -10,000 on that, but I know that isn't right because we had the ThinkCar scanner on it and that was showing exactly what it is. The ThinkCar 689BT, and the results are as they should be. 23 millibars of pressure there. So I don't know why that's not giving us the right information. So there's a lot of sensors that are not reading correctly, but I know that's not the vehicle. We're not quite getting the right information on this app. Struggling a bit, isn't it? Struggling a bit. Just have a quick look at the special functions. See if we can do an oil reset on it. Right, engine oil. Service counter 11 times, availability 67%. So it's giving us everything on there. Reset successful. So according to that, it has reset the oil service. Let's have a quick look again. There we go, up to 100%. So we've reset the oil service. So as if you've been and changed the car oil, and you've been and had it serviced, the dashboard is going to read correctly now and the warning light's not going to come on to say it needs a service. So you can do oil service resets with this. That was nice and quick. We've got rear brakes, front brakes, brake fluid and the statutory inspection. So it's got all of the ones on there to clear your dashboard fault codes. We'll end that. We'll get back out of that one. Okay, let's just clear this up then. Let's go out of here. Okay, we're back out. We can pull the dongle out now. I've just grabbed another scanner. This is the ThinkScan 689BT. I've just plugged that into there, and we'll just double check to make sure that the sensors are reading correctly, and then it's the tool that's not reading correctly and the sensors are okay. And the results are as they should be. 23 millibars of pressure there. So it's not the car that's at fault with that sensor. The machine, the Vdiag, it struggled on a couple of things. It wouldn't do the Windows actuations. It was working the lights, but it's struggling on some live data readings as well, which is really important to get those right. Otherwise, you've got no chance of diagnosing any faults. You've got to be able to trust what you're getting, the information you're getting out of these things. So there we have it. I hope this video's been of use to you. It's been an eye-opener for me. The Vdiag was really hard to get working on the phone to start with, to get it Bluetooth in, and then we had to reset the app, do the updates and everything, which is one reason why I really love these standalone units. They're just easier to get on with. You've not got those kind of issues. But it is a lot cheaper. If you're on a really tight budget, maybe this would work for you. But I know which ones I prefer. If this video's been of use to you, then please drop me a little thumbs up, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in another video. Thanks for watching.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.